Hello everyone, I'm Laurel and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make a very easy pair of earrings. This is great for beginners and you'll need UV resin. You'll need either turquoise or a light blue resin dye. You'll need mixing bowls, mixing utensil. You'll need 2 eyelet screws. You'll need 2 jump rings, and you'll need 2 fishhook earrings. You'll also need these bubbles, and they come in a multicolor, or you can get them in clear. I have the multicolor. You'll need pliers for doing your earrings and mostly the jump rings. So let's get started. So you'll need your mixing bowls because you're going to need quite a few. I'm going to do the medium size. There's also a large and then there's a small size, but I think I'm going to do the medium. It's like a bigger teardrop, but not too big. So first we're going to need, I have 2 so I can make sure that the color and everything are both the same for each earring. So I'm just going to place a good amount in each one. That I know will fill it up to the top of the mold. I had to get a new resin. I was running low on the other one. So those I would say are about the same. Yes. Let me see. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more in there, just to be sure. And then if I have leftover, like I said, you can use it for another project, or if you want, make a second pair of earrings. And I'm just going to do 1 drop in each. I just want it tinted. I don't want a lot of color to it. So just make sure you mix it up thoroughly. Okay, I'll set this aside. And then now to remove the bubbles, I'm going to use a heat gun. I don't want too many bubbles when I pour that in, so let's see. Let's try to get rid of these. Okay, and then, okay, so we'll just set this aside just for a second. And the next step would be to get the little bubbles inside. So, I just have to tear this open. Maybe I didn't have to. All right, there we go. And I'm just going to, I hope you can see this. I'm just going to pour these into the mold. Okay, so we have some on the outside of the mold, so we can just take tweezers and place them right in there. Oops. So while I'm doing this, I'll be right back. I'm going to do this off camera because they're so small and they're hard to grab with the tweezers. So I got all the little bubbles in there, the little colored bubble beads, and I filled it probably about 1/4 of the way up. So now that that's filled, I'm going to pour this in. And I do have leftover, like I said, so I'm probably going to do another pair, but maybe the smaller ones. Oops, that one I got a little bit too much in there. And it looks like bubbles there are coming to the top. So I'm just going to burst those. Oh, there's a few more. Oh, see, I see them, they keep popping up. So I'm sure it's just air trapped in the glass bubbles. So I just want to make sure all that comes up and they pop. So you might have to wait a few minutes just to be sure. That one just blew a whole huge bubble there. Okay. Oh, see, they're still popping up. So I'm just going to let this sit for a bit and let them come to the surface. And after I pop all the bubbles and it sets for a little bit, I will show you what the next step is. Alright, so it set for a little bit and it seemed like it stopped bubbling. So I'm going to cure this for about 5 minutes, turn it over and cure the other side for 5 minutes. Now, as you can see, I had a little bit left over. Well, I actually have a lot left over. I misjudged when I mixed it. So I made just 2 little blue earrings without the bubbles. And since I have a little left, I might use it for another project. So I'll show you the unmolding when we come back. Okay, so now we can unmold them. There's some little bits and pieces on the edges here we could just take off. I always find it difficult to get these out. Oh, oh. Yay! So you can see all the little bubbles. And I do see like a little bubble in the center, but considering we have the little colored bubbles in there, it's not going to be that noticeable. Okay, so let's get this one out. All these little bits here first. Okay. Then we can get this out. Okay. Now if you want, you can just get a little piece of sandpaper and sand that off. Or if you have a little bit for sanding, like this, or the other one, these are good too. So if you have either or, and then that one seems to have bubbles too. Oh well, you just can't get away from them. I think sometimes it makes the piece look a little more interesting. And then I'm just gonna take off that little bit on the top. Okay. This one seems a little bit bigger, but I can get that off really easily too. Okay, so now we have to change the drill bit. And then we need just a fine bit to make the hole for the eyelet screw. Now also I want to mention, I don't say this often on my channel, which I should. I should always recommend safety. So when you're working with resin, you should wear gloves. I don't, because it's just easier for me to maintain like neatness while I'm doing it, because you know, once you get it all over your gloves, you get it all over everything else. Also, I use baby wipes to clean up my equipment right away. I don't let any of my equipment get near the UV light if it has resin on it, so I make sure it's cleaned up right away. Also, when you're sanding or drilling, make sure you wear a mask. I have a ventilator mask and you can't hear me talk in it, so that's why I don't wear it. But when I'm doing my drilling or the sanding, I do have just a regular like medical mask on, and that keeps the dusts away from me, which is good. You don't want any of this stuff getting into your lungs. So that being said, always make sure you use your safety equipment. Okay, so now we're going to drill a hole in the center. That one's getting away. All right, so, okay, so I just use baby wipe to get any dust off my hands. You can wipe off your piece with it, like that. Get that off of your resin piece, and you can also wipe down your drill so it's not so dusty, and also your table. And since it's wet, it picks up all the debris real easily. And there you go. Okay, so all right, so we're going to put the eyelet screws in now, and then we're going to make the earrings. So we have the fish hook earrings, the jump rings, and the eyelet screws. I have 2 pairs of pliers because I have a hard time closing the jump ring with just 1 pair of pliers and my fingers. So next we're just going to put some, you can go around the edges where you might have gotten like the sanding. Like you can see the sanding on there. So you can go around those edges, but just put some down into the hole, some of the resin down into the hole. I still have some blue left over. And I made several projects with it, so you're going to see them at the end. And then just screw these in. And then let's get this one. Okay, just a dab into that little hole there. And then this one's a little tough to screw for some reason. I can't screw this one in. Let's get this one in. This one was a little tough to screw in. And this one doesn't seem like it wants to go down any farther. There we go. Okay, we're going to put that under the light for 30 seconds. All right, now that they're cured, we can place the jump ring on. So you open it to the side, place on your resin piece, and then place on the fishhook earring, and then just close it up. And then you do the same with the other one, like so. See how pretty they look? The little bubbles. I think they make a really nice accent piece, and you have to see what I did with the leftover resin. So with all the excess resin I had left over, I made a pair of cross earrings with the little bubbles. I thought those came out really nice. I also made a pair of earrings with just the blue, and they look just like little blue raindrops or teardrops. And I also got a necklace out of it. And I want to point out that this piece here was just a little extra that ran over onto the mold. So it made this really nice little circle. So since it was done in the same color, I thought it would look really nice as part of the pendant. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and press the bell for notifications of upcoming videos. Also, in the description box below, you will find links to all of the supplies that I used for these projects. And you'll find links to my jewelry, my artwork, and my photography. Thank you again for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.